All right, friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is usually dedicated to all things Bannerlord related and especially advanced battlefield command and tactics, and we are just taking a very brief break today. I downloaded this game like millions of other people, and I'm just going to give you sort of my first impressions on this incredibly beautiful and ambitious game. Of course, if you don't know what I'm playing, this is called Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's set in the early 1400s in the Hungary area. There's a civil war going on. There's King Sigismund. There's all kinds of interesting characters, and the developers of the game have done a pretty good job, at least with my understanding of history from this area and this part of the world, of putting together things and dropping you, the character, right into this game. Of course, just like many games like this, whether it's the Elder Scrolls series or other role-playing games, they do start with the main plot line. And of course, I'm not deep into the game, and I should clarify right away by saying this is not a guide to play, unless it is indeed a guide of how not to play, because I have no experience playing this game. I'm just going to go ahead here and narrate a little bit, wander around just a little tiny bit here, and give you guys a little bit of a perspective, hopefully in 4K graphics. It looks like it's recording nicely in 4K graphics of this incredibly beautiful, ambitious, and fascinating world. Now, you can have all kinds of encounters with people. Of course, like most online worlds like this, whether it's cyberpunk or anything else, most guys, you can't do anything unless you want to just start kicking their ass and stuff like that, and this is obviously not recommended behavior. I'm under the assumption that you can rob a lot of the characters in the game as well. In fact, you see the little thing there popping up in the lower right. I don't think I can probably get away with it right now. This guy talking shit to me. I'm like so tempted just to beat his ass. But basically, this game is an open game with a main quest line, like many games like this, and then there's many, many side quests, which of course tends to keep the player fascinating. This is the kind of game that many players just thousands of their hours of lives just fly away as we sit with our cubicles, living in cities and all kinds of things. We're basically missing this element of the world, right? This fascinating, beautiful, idyllic settings with, as usual, all of the women in games like this tend to be perfectly busted or exceptionally well busted, sprightly individuals. It seems like they're all wearing makeup. I think back then there was makeup, but I don't think your average housemaid was wearing a whole lot of makeup. Anyways, I digress here. We won't get political. But it's a fascinating game, and I think for a lot of people living in today's artificial world, this sort of scratches the itch a little bit of their desire to go out to the country, to go wander around. I think you can even be a manual laborer in this game. I heard you can be a blacksmith and shit like that. For one of the initial storylines, I was literally being told to carry around bags of grain or some shit like that. Some barmaid was talking shit to me and telling me, hey, go carry this grain into this building for me and you'll be paid off your debts. And I wanted to be like, fuck off. I'm not carrying that shit. You can go carry it. But of course, it's not as easy as all that. This game does have a reputation system. And again, I'll preface all of this by saying I barely know what I'm talking about here. This is mostly like rumor and hearsay. This is just a 10 or 15, maybe a 20-minute impression from a gamer, an older gamer, of what I think about this game. Now, graphics, I mean, what can you say, right? These are some of the most incredible graphics I've ever seen. Obviously, I'm running on a strong system. Guys ask me all the time what kind of a system I have. It's honestly, it's like a Costco gaming PC. It was about 1,600 new like 2 or 3 years ago. And I actually have the stats turned on in the upper corner there. You can see we're running at 60 frames a second. And I'm pretty sure this is maxed everything, max graphics. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's a visually stunning game. And there's no load times like you typically see, with rare exception, right? But in between cutscenes, which there are many, there are load times and stuff like that where they have kind of immersive videos to drop you right in. But the game really can be run around. You can run around the game. I'm sprinting right now. Yeah, I'll run you over there, fucking guard. What do you think of that? Unfortunately, this game I have learned is very difficult. Like I played Skyrim and so many of the other games, and you can fuck around and find out. In Skyrim, You could get away with beating someone's ass and run to the next town, and maybe you wouldn't go to jail. In my experience in Kingdom Come Deliverance, if you fuck around at all with guards, you swing your weapon at them and stuff like that, this game is designed to be realistic. And you can imagine, we'll just go ahead and put ourselves in the place of a psychopath in the 15th century, 14th century. If you went up and you're just a random guy to a guard on the street and you put your weapon up in the air, right, the guy's going to be like, fuck you. And if you do it a couple times, this guy's chasing after me and shit, they would, let's see, sheath it is B. He's ordering me to sheath my weapon. Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know the commands, man. Chill. Okay, so this motherfucker's just going to chase me. Maybe we'll jump on that cow or something like that. Try to escape from this guy. But you get an idea of the realism, right? And the difficulty. And a warning about the difficulty. I'm a fairly experienced... Oh, shit. Now I got to surrender. All right, let's just go ahead and roll with this. 1 is surrender. I surrender.
I said surrender.
I'm trying, motherfucker.
We'll do this the hard way.
I thought I hit the button. Oh, shit. I guess I got to hit L1 first. Motherfucker. I'm just trying to run away. The pillar. This guy's talking shit. So they have an endurance system on the bottom. You see the yellow there. Of course, this motherfucker's just as fast as me. I'm some peasant, and I can't run at all. These peasants would all be sprinting away from guards. They would run you down with a horse, probably. This motherfucker. I'm gonna have to reload my save game here because I don't even have a fucking... Fuck you.
Don't think I won't cut you to pieces.
And I know absolutely nothing about the gaming system here, right? I know you can parry and shit like that. These guys, for the most part, just kick your ass, right? You cannot defeat like an average guard. Like I said, in Skyrim, you would have some success doing this shit, but in this game, it's just like not a chance. Well, actually, I spoke too soon. All right, so that was unexpected. I've killed this guy. We're going to have to reload this save game probably because just like real life, if you just cut down a guard, especially, of course, if you were witnessed, you'd be fucked, right? You would be, and I'm carrying this guy. I'm all bloody, by the way. Again, the realism and the immersion is amazing, right? I can just chuck this guy in the grass right here. His body ragdolls out there nicely. In fact, it looks like I can stomp him and kick him a little bit here. What do you kids do? You guys do like teabagging and shit? We can teabag this guy a little bit here. I find that one of the most distressing parts about civilization is the desecration of dead people. This has got to be one of the most despicable acts on earth, and yet today we laugh about it. And of course, I'm even laughing about it itself, right? I'm a product of this environment. So I think you can actually bury these guys, but just like real life, if you went up to a guard and he tried to arrest you and then you beat the guy to a pulp or killed him or whatever like this, there would be consequences. Now, let's see. He says he's dead, but I can rob him. So we're going to, fuck it. We'll just rob this guy all the way. Let's see. I hold E. There. Now he's a naked dude in the forest. Nobody's going to notice. I keep trying to hold down the shift button to zoom in like Bannerlord. That's not a thing. And a little bit of a segue there, right? Well, actually, we'll go see now what happens in the city. But they've got an endurance bar, right? I'm holding the left shift, and we're sprinting around. You can actually hear the character breathing hard. And I presume... Okay. I thought it might even suffer health consequences. You have like a heart attack if you kept sprinting. It looks like it just forces him to rest. But the game is dynamic. It's really interesting. Of course, I played Skyrim forever ago, and you got to eat food with certain mods. In Kingdom Come Deliverance, you definitely need to eat food, right? You have down here, you have health and energy and nourishment, and you have other things like conspicuousness. So if you want to be like a gangster with bright clothes, you're not going to get away as a thug, right? Evidently, we're modestly conspicuous. We're not too noisy. We're not that fuck that revs that motorcycle up at 4 a.m. and wakes your children. And then it even has a stealth system. I played the original Thief, a dark something or other, like 25 years ago, before some of you guys were even born. Let's see, how do I eat this shit? I'm not wearing a pouch. I can just eat some carrots here. It's probably good for our vision or some shit. Let's just tear through some of this stuff. Let's do some little bit of moonshine here. I'm not wearing a pouch, it says. So you can see, I don't know how to play this game. So I'm not, hopefully nobody's watching this being like, you don't know what you're doing, dipshit, because that's absolutely right. I don't know what I'm doing. This is, again, just a first-person, just one gamer's perspective of this game. Now, I can say I'm highly intrigued at this game. However, the difficulty is daunting. And let me spend 30 seconds on that. Before that guard chased me off and I fucking killed his punk ass, I was going to talk about that. This game doesn't have a difficulty setting. You could not go in and be like, oh, you know, I want to make it easy. I guess they're just trying to make it realistic. And for some reason, there we go. Pick some fucking thistle, motherfucker. You cannot go in and just set the difficulty level to easy. It doesn't even have that feature. So if that's something you want to do in a game like this, it's simply not possible. With that in mind, I have, you know, like I said, I've played a couple hours, maybe a half hour here and there. And I got my ass kicked the very first time I tried to fight like a brigand in the woods. In fact, I think it's kind of close to here. I vaguely remember this part. I don't know. I'm going to just desecrate this guy's grave. This is like somebody's offering, a spiritual offering for their dead. And yeah, so of course they won't let me in this gigantic castle at the top of the hill here. And I'm going to wrap this video up in a few minutes here, but just to finish a few more points, like I said about the difficulty, not only can you not adjust it, but this game is very difficult. I'm maybe a mediocre gamer, or it just takes a long time to learn something like this. Of course, I do remember in Bannerlord getting my ass kicked by looters and pelted with those little frozen turds they throw at you. So it's not like you know, I can't get better at this game. But my initial first impression of this game is that this game is designed to be realistic. And what I mean by that is if you kill a guard like we just did, in fact, we're running around. I don't actually know how to sheath my weapon. I think it said hold B maybe. There we go. All right, we got our weapon sheathed at least, so it shouldn't be too difficult here. We're just going to go to town. Yeah, I almost hit you. We're just going to go to town here and see if there's any reaction to this, right? We just killed a guard like, I don't know, half a mile from here, and we'll see if the reputation of that has already progressed to the city. Now, one of the things I've always hated about games like this is you kill a guard. Look at these maidens. All right, all right.
You stink to high heaven.
I do? You don't want some of this? Look at, he gets tired by swinging punches, you know, which is realistic. But these games are designed to be very, very realistic. And with that realism, of course, look, you can steal a horse. Let's skip that before we get lost here. We get too run away in this episode. You can tell I'm distracted because this game is engrossing, right? Guys are like talking shit here. I can probably participate in this.
Laying a hand on family. Shame on you.
These guys look like they're getting ready to brawl. I don't know if these guys know that they're standing next to a murderer. If they start throwing down here, we're just going to start killing guys. But one of the things that's always bothered me about games like this is you could kill a guy and guards instantly have like satellite communication a town over and you're arrested immediately. Of course, I understand it's difficult to design game mechanics where guards are getting, you know, they're getting a fucking post carrier, some guy on a horse saying, hey, this guy's wanted and it takes a few days. But a lot of games, they have just sort of like a half-baked crime system. So far, this is pretty realistic, right? There's no guards running up to me like in Oblivion or Skyrim where they're like, come with us, because they know that instantly there was a crime committed like a city away. If you remember where we killed that guard, it was basically out in the woods. Yeah, so these motherfuckers are fucking fighting here. Let's participate.
You'll kill him.
Look at, I'm badly injured by, I guess. I think I swung my weapon too much. You can actually, you know, swinging your weapon too much is a problem. This guy's fucking kicking my ass, motherfucker. And I've exhausted myself. So you have a hard time like getting away from a fight too. Guys chase after you pretty well. I mean, this guy's all over me. In fact, I just got my ass kicked and dropped.
Get up. We're not finished here. You're a fucking murderer. Don't you dare move before I
this
bring
is
the
great.
guards over.
Right? I killed this guy here. And now I can just say leave.
I'm not going anywhere with
I'm
you.
leaving, bitch.
You're as stubborn as a mule.
And I think this guy... oh, see, this is a good system. This guy's literally... He's fleeing. Now there's a guard with a weapon. He's coming after me. And, of course, my character is, like, injured. So it simulates, you know, he's got, like, this blood screen. I'm going to try to ditch this guy by jumping over some hedges and shit. Get over that shit. I'm going to get motherfuckers chasing right after me. How do I surrender? I don't want to get killed. And that is realistic, right? I'm actually going to wrap this episode up with that process, right? You kill guys in a duel, they run and get the guard, and then they cut you down, right? This is great. Again, I have no idea if I'm actually going to play this on the channel. This does not strike me as something where tactics or even strategy are going to be intimately part of this game. You're essentially running around a first-person shooter with a sword and a halberd, right? I think you can punch some chickens and shit here, but it's great that the system is so open. Right? I would. Again, just my absolutely amateur opinion here. I would heartily recommend you check this game out. The graphic system alone, of course, you're going to need a pretty strong system to be able to play it and make it look like this. But it seems like a really interesting open-ended game. Just be aware, if you're one of those guys that difficulty frustrates you, a game being difficult frustrates you, I would probably skip this game, right? It looks like it has a pretty punishing system here, designed to be realistic, right? Because you could not just start killing guards back in the old day and think you'd get away with it, right? There would be consequences for that shit. I'm sure stealing a horse, too. If I steal some horse here and try to cut down guards, it's going to be a problem. It's not like Grand Theft Auto where you can shoot the shop dealer and one guard or one cop comes out. How do I charge this guy? That's fucking banner lord style. I think I got ejected from my horse.
Useless. Show
Useless
your
motherfucker. I'm gonna tire myself out here. Anyways, a highly engrossing game here as we get fucking owned by a dude with a spear. A very fascinating game. And if you're interested in playing games like this, I would heartily recommend it. All right, friends, so we're going to wrap this episode up. Again, I'm still going to be cruising along with Bannerlord on the channel. We're not done with the series that we're doing right now, but I wanted to just throw this game in here. If you do want to see me play some Kingdom Come Deliverance, if you think for some reason it would be interesting to you to watch me stagger through a Kingdom Come Deliverance campaign, and I would probably try to play it fairly straight-edged. I'm not just going to run around, kill guards, and reload my save game every 5 minutes. But if you want to watch me play something like this, if you want to watch an old guy stagger through a first-person shooter, kill the occasional guard and steal all their stuff, let me know, friends. So with all that said, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Bacon. And I will talk to you, friends, next time. Motherfucker.
What do you want? Punishment by the blade. My
Yeah,
baby.
come get it, bitches. You're just gonna stand there, you fucking pussy? Swing your weapon.
Don't think
Well, I'm going to jail forever or getting killed, but it's been fun killing all these bitches. Let's just go on a rampage here. There's some farmer. Come on, man. I mean, this is like gotta be better than farming your whole life. Let me just help you out. Trust me. Like, you're looking at, oh shit, this guy pulled out a sword and he's like, come get some. Oh, that's rad, man. These guys just beg for mercy. You got it, man. I'm gonna be like, I'm merciful. Anyways, you can see how engrossing this game is. Pretty fascinating.
Would you?
Attack.
No mercy. Fight.
There's going to be future school stabbings after people play this game long enough. Heaven help us all.